Hi, good day. Welcome again to Exposè. This segment is going to be dealing with attorneys at law in Barbados, and I'll be focusing on two attorneys at law who, in their professional capabilities, have somewhat fallen short, and this has to do with their advertising of themselves and what the image they've portrayed to the public. All right. As you know, Exposè, and I will continue saying this, does not put out information unless they have documented proof. So, unlike the other blogs or videos you will be seeing where people are just speculating, we'll be coming with a priori, which is documented proof, to confirm, verify, and substantiate what we are broadcasting. Okay? So, welcome again. Just stay there. Welcome to Exposè. Now, the first attorney I'll be speaking about is Mr. George Walton Payne. I have here a bio that he has put out relative to himself, and I'm going to read through it with you. It says that George Walton Payne was born on the 28th of September 1948. He was educated at St. Silas Primary Commonwealth School and the College of Law, England. George qualified as a solicitor in 1974, having passed the Law Society's Solicitors final examination. I want to repeat that. Having passed the Law Society's Solicitors final examination with distinctions in revenue law and commercial law. He had earlier gained distinctions in contract law and land law in the intermediate examinations. Okay, so you look at that, all right, Mr. George Payne. But sometimes when people are involved in their practice, they tend to maybe sometimes step on the wrong people's foot. And it appears that Mr. George Payne would have encountered a lady in England by the name of Jackie Stewart. So when he put out this bio, it appears that Miss Stewart would have checked with the Law Society in England to verify whether his allegations were true relative to his having passed the Law Society Solicitors final examination. And this is what was returned. They're saying, Dear Miss Stewart, please see below correspondence and attachment sent to the Barbados Bar Association. Okay? And this is from Miss Julia Lovell, the team leader of the Solicitors Regulatory Authority. This is the SRA in the UK. And it's sent from David Clear. Okay, it said, Dear sirs, report by Pamela Stewart about Mr. George Walton Payne. As you will be aware, we are the regulatory body for solicitors in England and Wales. Miss Stewart has brought to our attention the profile of Mr. Payne, a copy of which is attached. Miss Stewart inquired if we had a record of Mr. Payne being a qualified solicitor in England and Wales. We have confirmed to her that we have no record of Mr. Payne ever having been admitted to the role of solicitors. As such, he is not a qualified solicitor in this jurisdiction by virtue of Section 1 of the Solicitors Act 1974. We have also confirmed to Ms. Stewart that we have no jurisdiction over Mr. Payne and that we will be taking no action other than to make your agency aware of the position. No, you understand what's happening here. Okay, he's only the jurisdiction, but he's made claims that he is a solicitor. We are seeing that he is not. This has been going on in Barbados for quite some time, where people are purporting to be something they are not. And we have a number of attorneys who are promulgating themselves as solicitors, and they are not. The next person I'm going to deal with is this gentleman, and I have here his business card. His name is Mr. Dennis M. Helly, and he has here barrister and attorney at law. Okay, his telephone numbers, his email address. But look at his card. It says barrister and attorney at law. As I said before, when you interfere with certain people, you have to be very, very careful, especially people who are from the UK. And I have here another lady who is from the UK who would have checked to verify if Mr. Dennis Helly is indeed a barrister as he is claimed. And we have here a document, Mr. Dennis M. Helly Practicing Certificate. And this is from Alexandra Painter. Okay, and she's replying to Miss Valerie Suzette Jean Marie, because it appears that Miss Valerie Suzette Jean Marie had acquired the services of Mr. Dennis Helly, okay, due to the fact that he had advertised himself as a barrister. She said, "Thank you for our email. I've checked our records and confirmed that we have a record of a Dennis McGregory Helly who was called to the bar in July 2005 by Gray's Inn." So he was called to the bar. "They're currently on our records as an unregistered barrister, which means that they do not hold a practicing certificate. A barrister can only work known as practicing as a barrister if they are registered with the Bar Standards Board and hold a valid practicing certificate. Barristers who are not practicing and do not have a valid practicing certificate are not allowed to supply or offer to supply legal services when referring to themselves as barristers. The following examples will give an idea of what is prohibited. Describing oneself as a barrister in any printed material used in connection with the provision of legal services, in particular in advertising or publicity on a card or letterhead or on premises." Ladies and gentlemen, this is what is happening in Barbados. So we have two of these solicitors who are practicing. One practicing as a barrister, one saying he's a solicitor, and the regulatory authority in England is saying that they are not. The Bar Association has been notified. We'll wait and see what happens here in Barbados, because it appears that people can get away with anything here in Barbados. This is not about castigating any person. This is about people purporting to be things that they are not, and at the same time taking proceeds from clients and then not being able to fulfill the requirements. Okay, and this is something that a number of people, if they gain the knowledge of it, they can actually go back to these people and ask for a refund of their fees, especially if they do not get the efficacy that they required. All right, people in Barbados, please check. Anytime you go to an attorney's office, they must have their certificates advertised on the wall, and when asked, they must be able to show you their practicing certificate. If they cannot do this, have nothing to do with them, okay? This is Exposè. Please subscribe, click that link button, and keep in touch. I will be back with the truth about Violet Beckles, and I've taken a while because I wanted to get all my documentation correct. I've been seeing quite a few people putting out stuff relative to it, and I actually got a call from the family, and they were very distraught because sometime this week, on the anniversary of Miss Beckles' death, another video hoster would have put out a blog, and it was said that what they put out was a total barrage of misinformation. So the nephew called, and he was very irate about it. He said that they told a lot of lies and a lot of misinformation they put out. So we want to make sure that you are given the truth and not just listening to people who want sensationalism, especially people who don't really care about whether we receive factual news or not, but are just in it for their own publicity, okay? This is not about publicity. This is about seeing that people are given their rights. All right? Welcome again to Exposè.